All right, so today, April 14th, Tuesday, our lesson is students will be able to describe the attributes of polygons and determine the lines and angles found in them by completing Pathblazers lessons and activity sheets. So we are looking for the attributes of polygons. We want to find the different lines and the angles found in them. So attributes, we're going to look at some vocabulary here. Well, first of all, a polygon is any plane shape with straight lines or sides that connect. So that can be any shape as long as it has straight lines and those lines connect. So this is an example of a polygon. Now, I don't talk about my lines. I know they're not exactly straight, but I'm doing pretty good for using the mouse pad. But this is not a polygon because it does not connect. Attributes are the traits or properties of a shape or object. So things that you use to describe it. I could describe this shape as saying, oh, it has four sides. Let me put a shape in here. We can do it a little bit better. So here I am I'm going to describe this. This has four sides. These are attributes or traits that it has. It's four sides. It has four angles. When I look at the different types of angles that I see, they are right angles. So this is a four-sided shape with four right angles. I also see that it has parallel lines. This top line here, this top side is parallel with this one down here, and this side right here is parallel with this side over here. And we have another vocabulary word, which is quadrilateral. That is any four-sided shape. So I can also classify or name a shape based on how many sides it has. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's four-sided. It would be a quadrilateral. This is also called a square. Moving on. We talked about parallel lines before, but the parallel lines are lines that run in the same direction that never intersect. That means that they never touch. So these lines are going kind of diagonally here. These lines are going vertically. I can also have lines that go this way, that can go horizontally. Also, these lines are the same distance apart. That's why they are never going to intersect, because they are the same distance apart. Those are parallel lines. Perpendicular lines, lines that intersect or touch, but when they touch, they form right angles. So parallel lines never touch, and they go the same direction. When I mean the same direction, they're both running this way. They're both running diagonally. These both are running vertically. These both are running horizontally. Perpendicular lines, one is going vertically and the other is going horizontally. And where they cross, they form right angles. So ways that we can classify quadrilaterals of four-sided polygons. Square, we know that a square has four right angles. It was four-sided, that's how it's a quadrilateral. And it has four right angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have a rhombus. It's a four-sided shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the thing with the rhombus, it does not make right triangles. Also, with a square, it has opposite sides that are parallel. So this side here, 1, is parallel with this side here. That means they are an equal distance apart. They're going the same direction and they will never touch. As well as this side here is parallel with this side here. In a rhombus, there are four sides. It has two pairs of parallel lines. This side is parallel with this side, and this side here is parallel with this side right here. Now, it's also congruent. That means if you were to cut it in half, it looks the same on either side. But we notice with this shape here, with this rhombus, that it does not form right angles. The angles that we see here are, well, here's an obtuse angle, here's another obtuse angle, and when I look here, we have acute angles right here. A rectangle, it has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. With the 4 sides, it creates 4 right angles. It has 2 sets of opposite sides that are parallel. So this side here is parallel with this side, and this side here is parallel with this side. And then lastly, we have our trapezoid. Our trapezoid only has 1 set of parallel lines, or parallel sides, and it's not this side, because if we extended this side out, they would eventually meet. They would eventually intersect. And so those sides are not parallel there. The sides that are parallel are here. And there are no right angles here in this one. So that's how we classify a trapezoid. And then these sheets will also be available. These anchor charts will be available to you in your Google Classroom if you need to go back and refer to them. But we just have a classification chart. And we have trapezoid, parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, and square. There's a note down here that squares, rectangles, and rhombuses are types of parallelograms, and that is square is a type of rectangle and a type of rhombus. A square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle can't be a square because a square has 4 equal sides. All the sides are equal. In a rectangle, all the sides are not the same. So that's why a square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square. So we have ways to classify different shapes here. Just a little practice that we did during the live lesson. We have a parallelogram, has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pairs of parallel sides 2, and number of right angles is 0. This shape right here is a square, a rectangle. It's a rectangle. Number of sides is 4. Number of parallel sides, this side and this side, and this side and this side. So it's 2 pairs. And number of right angles here is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with my next shape down here, I'm looking at it. Well, it has 4 sides, but I'm looking at it. Number of parallel sides. Well, that's not parallel. This is parallel. So it only has 1 set of parallel sides. So when I refer back to my chart, what type of shape has exactly 1 pair of parallel sides? That is a trapezoid. I'm just going to put trapezoid. And does it form any right angles? No, it does not. So 0. So you can refer back to this if you need to. There are assignments in your Google Classroom to complete.